Bartenders of Reddit, what is the strangest conversation you've ever overheard because people assume sound doesn't travel over the bar? Two businessmen having after-work drinks on a Friday, where the conversation built up to one of the sweetest sentiments I've heard. At first the usual "let me tell ya, you're a good person. I love you man." Later on, still fairly basic, "fuck the wives. Hey, you and me, we buy motorcycles." To finally this gem, "if a tornado were to blow you away, I would fly after you." I overheard a woman who worked for a New Zealand online dating service, and was basically a profile censor. She described her job as being 80% cock pick removal, and had seen so many cocks she could divvy them up into a few distinct categories. What happens a lot while working in bars is that you overhear small snippets of conversation that sound really weird taken out of context. Stuff like, "The best way to steal eggs is to pretend that they are something else. The dogs wouldn't stand a chance against Bruce Springsteen in his prime. I don't know if she can swim, but she bought sandals in the 90s. I usually entertain myself making up stories about these conversations. I heard some chick say, and the worst part about it, is that lucky bastard got a whole gram of crystal out it for free. I keep asking him to shoot it on my face, it's good for my skin. But he refuses, he says he doesn't want to disrespect me. But I'm literally begging. I was washing glasses right in front of these two girls at my bar. It wasn't even like I was far away across the bar. You won't come home with me because I have a stinky pussy sob, middle-aged woman on a first date at like 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. The guy was planning on going home with her until that, I guess. I once listened to three people have an in-depth discussion about how they were going to kill the local vampire and the steps to take to protect themselves from the coven that said vampire is surely from. My favorite though was a heated debate over whether the first Robin would be a crime fighter if Batman hadn't picked him up and trained him. On Valentine's Day this year, we had a guest who accepted a FaceTime from his girlfriend while his side chick was with him at the bar. He angled the phone so his girlfriend wouldn't see the girl, but it was so obvious. These three middle-aged women, alone at the bar, discussing in excruciating detail their sexual fantasies, which seemed to include sucking off a younger man. I was 22 at the time. They obviously knew I could hear them, but it was so awkward. I stood there cutting the hell out of lemons and limes. A customer is on the phone in the middle of the bar, not too crowded but a long bar. Guy couldn't have been more than 25. I go to help someone at the end of the bar, and on my way back I overhear. "No, I don't care. She's my sister, she is 13 and there is no reason she should be doing cocaine. At all." Gave him a few drinks on the house that night. Was visiting my mom at work once, she tends bar, and heard her making conversation across the bar with a patron. Suddenly, over the music, I hear the guy slam his fist onto the bar and yell, "You are factually wrong." He immediately face-planted on the bar, and his buddy had to carry him out of there. My mom was just commenting on the fact that the song that was playing was country. A woman at a corporate event was explaining to three male co-workers how she loves the thrill attained from coke being snorted off her ass. Three girls were talking about some guy one of them was hooking up with. Apparently the night before, she puked all over his dick. Still boned. Got all the details I never wanted. Once this older couple, 55-ish, were talking about their bedroom problems. The guy clearly had impotence issues and the lady kept complaining that she was feeling frustrated because he was frustrated. And Viagra wasn't really helping, or at least not helping enough. Let's just say that other people around them weren't as comfortable as them about the conversation. I once heard a guy tell his buddy, "It's fun, it's like laser tag but with real guns." That was 20 years ago, and to this day kick myself for not getting the whole story. A woman was planning her dog's birthday party, and was debating which dogs to invite since some of the dogs didn't get along with her dog. You think they have those straws for sucking drinks in your butt here? Had someone yell "RIP Olivia Newton-John" and I interjected that she wasn't dead. big mistake. Drunk idiot got on one of those drunk loops about how I was wrong until we closed 20 minutes later. I even showed him on my phone that she wasn't dead and he said you can Google anything. These siblings, aged 50-60s, arguing over there, not even dead and in fact present at the table, mother's willing to get what. It ended in a heated argument and the son speeding off. One time I walked out to the patio to have a smoke break into 3 people all talking very drunkenly but also very seriously about theoretical physics. Edit, if anyone is worried it was them. It happened in Dayton, Ohio. Not me, as I'm a cook, but a bartender I worked with and was good friends with overheard a regular that was a businessman who traveled to China often bragging about getting underage hookers while there. Made sure to tell everyone who knew him about it. Back when you kept a newspaper on the bar. Guy walks in and goes straight for the paper. Looks in one section then the other. Places paper down. I asked him if you found what he was looking for, and he said no. His ex isn't dead or in jail. Then he asked for a beer. I've heard discussions on if my boobs were real. Listened to a couple in an open marriage and apparently bisexual scout out the picking for the evening. Listened to tons of people telling their so that they were working late. One guy even met a day later. Listened to a couple have a very intense whispered argument about custody. I assumed a kid. Turned out to be a cat. Listened to a couple guys plan how to rob me. Bartending was fun. I miss it sometimes. I work as a barback, busser in a campus pub. One night we had a traffic light party, where red if you're taken, yellow if it's complicated, green if you're single, and it was getting pretty damn sloppy. So I'm clearing glasses off tables, and there's this girl with 2 guys on either side of her with their arms around her shoulders, and not to mention massive knockers. Cool as a cucumber, one of the guys leans over and says, so how do you feel about getting Eiffel Towered tonight? Just 2 weeks ago, I had 2 couples who obviously don't get out much. Wife 1 goes to the bathroom. Wife 2 addresses husband 1, if you wanna get laid tonight, you should get your wife another margarita. Husband 1 replies, I got shit to do tomorrow. Marriage. I used to bartend at a pizza place. One afternoon a middle-aged couple came in with an old, 80, lady they referred to as grandma. Grandma seemed a little confused and they talked to her like she was a child. The middle-aged lady made a comment about being hungry and then grandma says very loudly, have you ever been so hungry you could eat the ass out of a dead skunk? I almost fell over behind the bar. I was laughing so hard. Don't eat corn before anal Sunday.